Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Monday, August 18th, Lily's stalemate, Nate's suspects, Nikki's solution. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Monday, August 18th, 2025. Fans can expect Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, and Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, to reach a statement. Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, suspects Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, is keeping a secret. Also, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, tries to fix her broken family. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Make sure to check out our weekly Y&R spoilers, here. Lily Winters' stalemate. Let's kick it off with Lily, who called to arrange a meeting with Kane. The woman was encouraged by Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, to get closer to the tycoon. The patriarch thought it was an easy and guaranteed way for Lily to find out about Kane's plans. However, when faced with Kane, Lily gets blocked. It seems that Kane knows Lily a little bit better than she knows herself. Read more, find out what happened on the last episode of Y&R Lily Winters' stalemate. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on complex emotions, family drama, and power struggles that twist lives in unexpected directions. For Lily Winters, stalemates have become her new reality, both personally and professionally, as she finds herself caught between loyalty, ambition, family bonds, and a love life that continues to drag her into uncertainty. Lily has always been a woman of grace, intelligence, and quiet resilience, but now she stands at a crossroads where every decision feels like a tug-of-war with her own soul. The word stalemate perfectly describes Lily's current journey. She is not winning, she is not losing, but she is standing still in a battlefield of shifting loyalties and half-truths. At Chancellor Winters, Lily's role as CEO has given her power and authority, yet it has also become a source of constant headaches. The tension between her, Devon, and Billy continues to weigh heavily on her shoulders. Devon believes Lily is too forgiving, too open to Billy's ideas, while Billy himself constantly tries to prove that he deserves a seat at the table. For Lily, this is not just about business, it is about proving herself in a family where expectations are sky-high and every mistake has a price. She knows she inherited a legacy from Neil, but the pressure to live up to his standards often leaves her second-guessing herself. This workplace stalemate leaves her feeling paralyzed. Should she side with Devon, her brother who wants to protect their father's dream, or trust Billy, a man who has proven himself unreliable but also surprisingly visionary at times? This dilemma encapsulates the heart of Lily's storyline: trust versus doubt, risk versus safety, family versus outsider. While the business battlefield is intense, Lily's personal life is no less complicated. Her relationship with Daniel Romalotti seemed like a chance at a second act, a rekindled love story filled with nostalgia, forgiveness, and a deep bond that never truly faded. Yet, as so often happens in Genoa City, old wounds resurface and shake the foundation of what seemed promising. Daniel is torn between his love for Lily and the pull of family obligations that leave Lily questioning where she truly fits in his life. Heather Stevens' return has made the situation worse, creating a love triangle that leaves Lily once again in the position of being strong while others pull her in different directions. She wants to fight for what she deserves, but her dignity won't allow her to play second fiddle. The stalemate between her heart's desires and her need for self-respect is painful to watch, but it is also one of Lily's most defining traits. She refuses to compromise her worth even when love is on the line. The ghosts of Lily's past haunt her as well. Her marriage to Kane Ashby was one of the most memorable love stories on Y&R, filled with passion, betrayal, forgiveness, and tragedy. Kane's name still lingers in conversations about Lily, and fans can't help but wonder if she will ever truly close that chapter. Every time Lily seems ready to move forward, echoes of Kane's presence resurface, reminding her, and the viewers, of how much she endured. This lingering shadow creates another stalemate in her life. Does she embrace the possibility of new love, or will she forever compare every relationship to the deep yet tumultuous love she once shared with Cain? Family dynamics also complicate matters for Lily. Devon's protective instincts often clash with her desire to assert independence. While Devon sees himself as the guardian of Neil's legacy, Lily feels equally entitled to shape their father's vision for Chancellor Winters in her own way. Their arguments sometimes cross the line from sibling banter into cold hostility, creating fractures that could be irreparable. Yet deep down, both siblings share the same love and respect for Neil. This sibling stalemate is heartbreaking because neither is entirely wrong. Devon's caution is justified given Billy's history, but Lily's openness is rooted in her belief in second chances. Neil himself embodied forgiveness, and Lily carries that torch, even when it puts her at odds with those closest to her. The larger question fans are beginning to ask is, how long can Lily remain in this limbo before she makes a bold move? Soap operas thrive on characters reaching their breaking points, and Lily's journey feels like one long build-up to a major explosion. Will she finally choose to push Billy out of Chancellor Winters, proving her loyalty to Devon? Or will she gamble on Billy's innovative ideas and risk alienating her brother for good? Will she forgive Daniel and fight for their relationship, or will she step away, refusing to play the role of the patient partner waiting for him to make up his mind? These questions make Lily's storyline one of the most compelling on The Young and the Restless today. What makes Lily's stalemate even more fascinating is how it mirrors real-life struggles. Many viewers see themselves in Lily, a woman balancing work, love, and family while trying not to lose herself. Her patience, her resilience, and her quiet strength resonate deeply with audiences who know how difficult it can be to stand your ground when pulled in 100 directions. Yet fans also want to see her fight, to see her break free from the cycle of waiting and doubting. The anticipation builds with each episode, as viewers wonder when Lily will finally choose herself above all else. There are also whispers of new challenges waiting around the corner. With Chancellor Winters expanding, rivalries with Newman and Jabot are bound to intensify, and Lily may find herself in the middle of a corporate war that forces her to take sides more decisively than ever. On the personal front, if Daniel wavers, there is always the possibility of Cain's return, which would stir up old feelings and force Lily to confront her past in ways she hasn't fully processed. The stalemate might not last forever. Inevitably, something will push Lily to break the cycle, and when that happens, the fallout will be dramatic. Until then, Lily Winters remains one of Y&R's most captivating characters, precisely because of her struggle to move forward. She is not a woman who easily caves under pressure, nor is she one who makes reckless moves. Her strength lies in her ability to endure, but her greatest challenge now is realizing that sometimes endurance is not enough. Sometimes, you have to take risks, even if it means breaking a few hearts, including your own. For fans, the waiting game is as much a stalemate as it is for Lily herself, but the reward will come when she finally claims her power in a way that no one can ignore. As Genoa City continues to spin with secrets, betrayals, and power plays, Lily Winters' stalemate stands out as a story worth watching. It is layered, emotional, and deeply human. Whether she rises above her challenges or succumbs to them, one thing is certain: Lily's journey is far from over, and the ripple effects of her decisions will shape the future of not only Chancellor Winters but also her own heart. In the end, stalemates don't last forever. And when Lily finally makes her move, it could change everything. Nate Hastings suspects. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, August 18th reveal that Audra has been keeping a secret about her activities in Nice from Nate. What is this? However, Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, is about to expose the truth. It's not clear if by Monday, Nate knows the truth or not. It sounds like maybe Claire's chat with Nate gets interrupted. It is stated that Nate gets the feeling that Audra is keeping a secret from him. Y&R Nate Hastings suspects. The Young and the Restless thrives on suspicion, secrets, and the subtle shifts of trust that keep Genoa City in a constant state of emotional turmoil. At the center of intrigue now stands Nate Hastings, a man who has weathered scandal, betrayal, and reinvention, yet still finds himself caught in webs of uncertainty. Once celebrated as a doctor with a steady moral compass, Nate's journey into the corporate world left him bruised, mistrusted, and trying to rebuild credibility. But as history has shown in Genoa City, trust is fleeting, and suspicion is a currency that buys both power and protection. For Nate Hastings, suspicion has become second nature. He suspects others of hidden motives, and in return, many still suspect him. The weight of suspicion on Nate begins with his past. Once a trusted member of Chancellor Winters, Nate's betrayal of Lily and Devon still lingers like an open wound. He aligned with Victoria Newman, leaking information and attempting a corporate coup, leaving his family enraged and the public reputation of Chancellor Winters shaken. Even though he has since tried to pivot, working alongside the Newmans and proving his loyalty to Victoria, the scars of his deception remain. Devon and Lily, while cordial at times, cannot fully erase the memory of his actions, and that legacy of mistrust follows him into every room. It creates a stalemate in his personal life. He craves redemption, but he cannot escape suspicion. At Newman Enterprises, suspicion is practically written into the walls. The family empire thrives on power plays and manipulations, and Nate knows better than most that survival requires vigilance. He suspects that Victor is always testing him, setting traps to measure his loyalty, waiting for a slip-up that proves he doesn't belong. Victoria may trust him in moments of intimacy, but Nate wonders if she, too, questions his every move. Adam Newman's presence is another factor. Adam has a knack for sniffing out weakness and exploiting it, and Nate suspects Adam would love nothing more than to see him fail. As a newcomer in a family-driven business, Nate constantly feels like an outsider trying to earn a seat at a table that will never truly be his. Yet suspicion is not just directed at Nate, he is also becoming a master of it. He knows better than to take anything at face value. He watches Audra Charles with growing skepticism, aware of her charm and ambition but uncertain of where her loyalties truly lie. He studies Adam, convinced that Adam is plotting his own rise back into Victoria's good graces, and perhaps even plotting Nate's downfall in the process. He even questions Nick Newman, who has shown disapproval of Nate's closeness with Victoria, interpreting Nick's warnings as not only brotherly concern but also as a veiled threat. In this way, Nate Hastings suspects everyone around him, because in Newman territory, everyone is a suspect. His personal life is equally entangled in suspicion. Nate's relationship with Elena Dawson ended in heartbreak, largely due to his betrayals and secret dealings. Elena saw through his ambition and warned him of the cost, and now that she is gone, Nate occasionally wonders if she suspected more than she revealed. Did Elena see the true extent of his willingness to compromise morals for power? Did she walk away not just from heartbreak but from a man she no longer trusted at all? The suspicion Nate carries about what others truly think of him gnaws at him, and no amount of ambition seems to fill the void left by broken trust. Adding to the layers of tension is the question of Nate's own ambitions. Has he truly reformed, or is suspicion warranted that he still craves control, recognition, and authority? Some fans believe Nate is playing a long game, aligning with Victoria not out of loyalty but as part of another climb toward power. Others suspect that his time in the Newman world has changed him in ways even he doesn't fully understand. Nate himself may not always know the answer. He wants redemption, but the temptation of influence is never far from reach. Suspicion creeps into his own self-reflection. Can he trust himself not to repeat the mistakes of the past? The larger story here is how suspicion will shape Nate's future. If he suspects Adam of scheming, will he act preemptively, perhaps setting a trap that backfires? If he suspects Audra of betrayal, will he confront her and ignite a new rivalry? If he suspects Victor of manipulation, will he fall into the very trap Victor has likely already laid? Each suspicion could become a catalyst for drama, pushing Nate further into a game where one wrong move could cost him everything. But suspicion is not always destructive, it can also be protective. Nate's ability to suspect motives could make him sharper, more prepared for the inevitable power shifts within Newman Enterprises. If he is cautious enough, he may even outwit Adam, sidestep Victor's tests, and prove himself indispensable to Victoria. However, this would require Nate to balance suspicion with wisdom, a skill that he has struggled with in the past. Too much suspicion could alienate allies, too little could leave him vulnerable. For fans of The Young and the Restless, Nate's storyline brims with potential. His character embodies the tension between morality and ambition, trust and suspicion. His evolution from healer to schemer has already shocked many, but his future could hold even more twists. Imagine a scenario where Nate suspects Adam of plotting, but it turns out Audra is the real betrayer. Or one where he suspects Victor of undermining him, only to realize Victoria herself has been testing his loyalty. The layers of suspicion could unravel into revelations that rock not just Nate's world but the entire Newman Empire. Beyond the boardrooms and power plays, Nate's journey is deeply human. Suspicion is, after all, a reflection of fear, the fear of being deceived, the fear of losing what has been gained, the fear of not being good enough. Nate Hastings carries these fears beneath his polished exterior, and that makes him a character audiences cannot turn away from. His every glance, his every hesitation, his every calculated choice is charged with the weight of suspicion, leaving fans asking, who does Nate truly trust, and who truly trusts him? As Genoa City continues to spin with secrets and betrayals, Nate Hastings' suspects list grows longer by the day. He suspects Adam, Audra, Victor, Nick, and perhaps even Victoria herself. Others, in turn, suspect him. This cycle of mistrust is the lifeblood of Y&R drama, and Nate's role ensures that the stakes will only grow higher. Whether he emerges as a man redeemed or a man consumed by ambition remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, suspicion will either be his greatest weapon or his ultimate downfall. For now, Nate Hastings lives in a world where every handshake hides a dagger, every smile conceals an agenda, and every ally is a potential betrayer. The only certainty in Genoa City is that suspicion never sleeps, and for Nate Hastings, the question is not just who he suspects, it is whether he can survive being Audra Charles pressured. That will just make Audra even more angry and pressured. She's like a pressure cooker or volcano and is about to erupt. We've already seen Audra snapping at everyone, including Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. Then, we have Audra bragging to Claire about something, maybe, happening, but she thinks that's going to be kept from Nate? In any case, Audra's losses are going to continue coming until she changes her tactics. Y&R Audra Charles pressured. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on characters who walk the line between power and peril, and few embody that tension right now more than Audra Charles. Since the moment she arrived in Genoa City, Audra has been a force to be reckoned with, ambitious, seductive, calculating, and unwilling to settle for anything less than the influence she believes she deserves. But with that ambition comes pressure, and lately, the walls have been closing in on Audra from every direction. What happens when the woman who has always controlled the game suddenly feels the heat of expectations, manipulation, and her own mounting mistakes? For Audra, pressure is not just external, it's becoming internal, a gnawing force that threatens to undo everything she's built. Audra's greatest strength has always been her ability to stay several steps ahead of her opponents. She has maneuvered herself into positions of influence at Newman Media, tangled with men like Tucker McCall, and kept herself in the orbit of powerful figures like Nate Hastings, Adam Newman, and even Victor Newman. But each alliance comes with strings attached, and now the pressure is greater than ever to prove she can deliver more than just charm and clever words. The Newman family expects results, Tucker demands loyalty, and her enemies wait for her to stumble. In Genoa City, power players thrive under fire, but even Audra is starting to feel the cracks forming. At Newman Media, Audra's role puts her under a microscope. With Adam constantly circling and questioning her every move, Audra faces the pressure of outsmarting a master manipulator. Adam knows how to exploit weakness, and Audra suspects he sees through her facade more than she'd like to admit. Victor, the patriarch who trusts few, no doubt keeps an eye on her as well, and Audra understands that one wrong step could end her career and her standing with the most powerful family in town. Victoria, though not always directly involved with her, casts another shadow. Victoria's approval or disapproval trickles down to those who work in her sphere, and Audra cannot afford to land on the wrong side. The pressure to stay useful, relevant, and irreplaceable is relentless, and it grows heavier by the day. Then there is Tucker McCall, a man who has both empowered and endangered Audra. Their partnership has been one of intrigue and risk, filled with mutual attraction but also hidden agendas. Tucker pressures Audra with his expectations, always reminding her that she owes him for the chances he has given her, while simultaneously using her as a pawn in his larger battles against the Abbotts and the Newmans. Audra knows Tucker is volatile, and being too close to him could cost her everything if his schemes collapse. Yet, distancing herself from him also means losing an ally who, despite his flaws, has often been her safety net. The pressure of balancing Tucker's demands with her own ambitions is suffocating, and the more she tries to play both sides, the more the noose tightens. Romance, too, adds its own pressures. Audra's dalliances and entanglements are never just about passion, they are about strategy, power, and survival. But navigating the hearts of powerful men comes with its own cost. Nate Hastings, with his complicated loyalties to Victoria, Adam, and his own reputation, presents both an opportunity and a risk. Audra feels the pressure of making the right moves with Nate. If she plays too aggressively, she risks exposing herself as untrustworthy. If she plays too passively, she risks losing her influence over him. The push and pull of attraction, ambition, and suspicion create an emotional pressure cooker that Audra can barely contain. What makes Audra's current storyline so compelling is that she has always projected control. She thrives on making others feel pressured while she stays cool, composed, and untouchable. But now, with multiple forces pressing down on her at once, the cracks are beginning to show. Her rivals can sense it. Devon and Lily don't trust her, Adam watches her like a hawk, and even Tucker sometimes seems ready to cast her aside when she doesn't bend fully to his will. The image of control is harder to maintain when the weight is so crushing. For fans, this is the perfect storm of drama. Audra is not a traditional heroine, she is more of an anti-heroine, the type of character who manipulates and schemes but captivates viewers with her intelligence and boldness. Watching her under pressure is fascinating because it reveals the human underneath the armor. Will she crack? Will she lash out and make reckless moves? Or will she prove that she is as brilliant as she claims, outmaneuvering her enemies even when they think they have her cornered? Every episode feels like a new test for Audra, and the audience holds its breath to see how she will respond. There is also the possibility that the pressure will push Audra into an explosive storyline. Imagine if, under strain from Tucker, Newman, and her rivals, Audra makes a desperate alliance that changes the power balance in Genoa City. Or if she, feeling the need to prove herself, launches her own independent scheme, only to find herself in deeper trouble than she expected. The pressure could lead to her greatest triumph or her most devastating downfall, and that uncertainty keeps fans glued to the screen. What's especially interesting is how Audra's storyline reflects a larger theme in The Young and the Restless, the cost of ambition. Characters like Victor, Jack, and Jill have all faced the crushing pressure of success, power, and legacy, but they are veterans of the battlefield. Audra is still relatively new, still carving her name into the stone, and the pressure feels different for her. She doesn't yet have the security that comes with being a Newman or an Abbott. One mistake could erase her entirely, and she knows it. That awareness adds a palpable tension to every scene she's in. Every smile could be a mask, every word a calculated defense against the pressure pressing in from all sides. At its heart, Audra Charles's journey is about survival. The pressure she faces is a test of whether she truly belongs in Genoa City's highest circles, or whether she will be exposed as someone who bit off more than she could chew. For now, she continues to strut with confidence, but the truth is that the walls are closing in, and even the sharpest strategist can only take so much. As Genoa City continues to spin with corporate wars, family feuds, and romantic betrayals, Audra Charles stands at the center of the storm. The pressure will either crush her or forge her into something even more dangerous than she already is. Either way, one thing is clear: Audra Charles is not a character to underestimate, and the drama surrounding her is only just beginning. Monday, August 18, 2025. As for Nikki, she will be determined to make peace between Claire and Victor. However, that certainly won't be easy. Claire feels totally betrayed by her grandfather. What is this? In Claire's eyes, Victor isn't much different than Jordan, Colleen Zenk. The woman used lies, secrets, and... What is this? In Claire's eyes, Victor isn't much different than Jordan, Colleen Zenk. The woman used lies, secrets, and manipulations to get her way, just like Victor Newman. While Nikki will hope she can smooth things over with Claire, it might already be too late for that. Claire is on a mission and could tap into her aunt's evil ways to teach Victor a lesson he'll never forget. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, August 18, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Young and the Restless spoilers Monday, August 18, Lily's stalemate, Nate's suspects, Nikki's solution. Genoa City never sleeps, and neither does the drama. As The Young and the Restless heads into Monday, August 18, three major storylines converge to set the stage for an explosive week: Lily Winters caught in a painful stalemate, Nate Hastings wrestling with suspicion and trust, and Nikki Newman trying to deliver a solution to the chaos threatening her family. Each thread carries weight, and together, they promise to keep viewers glued to every twist and turn. For Lily Winters, stalemates have become her new reality. Her leadership role at Chancellor Winters is a heavy crown, one that constantly leaves her torn between Devon's caution and Billy's relentless drive. Devon remains deeply suspicious of Billy's motives, while Billy pushes forward with ideas that challenge the family dynamic. Lily, forever the peacemaker yet also a woman of ambition, is forced into a balancing act that feels more like a battlefield. Monday's episode finds her once again caught in the middle, her loyalty tested as she attempts to keep the peace without losing herself in the process. Lily knows that if she leans too hard on Devon's perspective, she risks stifling innovation, but siding with Billy could permanently fracture her bond with her brother. The stalemate leaves her restless, questioning not just her leadership but also her personal life. Daniel Romolatti's presence lingers as a reminder that her heart, much like her career, is caught in limbo. She cannot fully move forward until she decides which battles are worth fighting and which bonds are worth protecting. While Lily faces the weight of indecision, Nate Hastings steps into Monday with his suspicions running high. Once a man devoted to healing others, Nate now lives in the cutthroat world of business, where suspicion is as necessary as air. His tenure with Newman Enterprises has been rocky, marked by betrayals and fragile alliances, and he knows better than to take anyone at their word. On August 18, Nate's instincts flare up as he questions the motives of those around him. Adam Newman remains a thorn in his side, unpredictable and cunning, while Audra Charles continues to dance between loyalty and ambition, keeping Nate on edge. Even Victoria Newman, the woman who gave him trust and a chance at redemption, is not beyond suspicion in his mind. Has Victoria truly forgiven his past missteps, or is she testing him with every move? Nate's inner conflict reflects his fear of falling back into old patterns. He wonders if he can trust anyone, even himself, to make the right choices. Suspicion may sharpen his instincts, but it also risks alienating him from the very allies he needs to survive in a business where daggers are often hidden behind handshakes. Meanwhile, Nikki Newman, the matriarch who has weathered decades of storms, rises to the challenge of delivering a solution to the latest round of Newman family chaos. Nikki's strength has always been her ability to navigate both family loyalty and corporate responsibility, and Monday highlights that resilience. With Victor keeping his cards close to his chest, Victoria balancing her personal life with corporate ambitions, and Nick torn between morality and family duty, it falls to Nikki to step in as the voice of reason. Spoilers suggest she has a plan, a solution designed to restore balance to a family constantly on the brink of collapse. Whether this solution involves business maneuvering, family diplomacy, or a hard truth that no one else is willing to face, Nikki's role will be pivotal. She knows better than anyone that the Newman name carries power, but also burden, and she will do whatever it takes to protect her family from tearing itself apart. The beauty of these intertwined arcs is how they mirror one another. Lily, Nate, and Nikki are all dealing with variations of the same theme, the pressure of leadership and the cost of trust. Lily struggles with a stalemate that prevents her from choosing a definitive path. Nate wrestles with suspicion that threatens to cloud his judgment. Nikki offers a solution that may not satisfy everyone but could be necessary for survival. Together, their stories create a mosaic of resilience, doubt, and the never-ending search for balance in a world where every decision has consequences. For Lily, the stalemate may lead to a breaking point. She cannot remain in limbo forever, and the mounting pressure from both Devon and Billy could push her into making a decisive choice. Will she prioritize family harmony, or will she gamble on Billy's vision, even if it costs her relationship with her brother? Monday's episode may not give us the full answer, but it will show us just how close Lily is to shattering the careful balance she has tried to maintain. Fans who have watched Lily grow from Neil's daughter into a powerhouse in her own right know that her patience has limits, and those limits may finally be tested. Nate's suspicions, meanwhile, could backfire. In a world where paranoia can be both a shield and a prison, Nate risks isolating himself if he lets suspicion rule his every move. The question is whether he will use his instincts to stay one step ahead or whether he will alienate Victoria and others by doubting their every word. Spoilers hint that Nate may begin to dig for truths that others would prefer remain buried, and in doing so, he could uncover secrets that change everything. The danger, of course, is that not all truths set you free, some destroy everything in their path. Nate must tread carefully, or his suspicions could make him the very villain others still believe him to be. As for Nikki, her solution will no doubt be met with resistance. In the Newman world, no solution is ever clean, and every choice comes with fallout. But Nikki is uniquely positioned to deliver what no one else can: perspective. She has seen the Newmans rise and fall, and she knows that family unity, however fragile, is their strongest weapon. Whether she is stepping into a boardroom battle, calming Victor's fiery determination, or guiding Victoria through another crossroads, Nikki's steady hand will be crucial. On Monday, August 18th, viewers can expect to see her wield that strength with the wisdom of experience and the ferocity of a mother determined to hold her family together. Taken together, these three arcs paint a picture of a Monday filled with tension, heartache, and possibility. Lily, Nate, and Nikki are all navigating the treacherous waters of power, family, and self-preservation. Each faces a different kind of pressure, but the underlying theme is the same: choices must be made, and the cost of those choices will echo far beyond the moment. For fans, this is the essence of The Young and the Restless: the emotional intensity, the layered characters, and the sense that every small step could trigger an earthquake in Genoa City. As the episode unfolds, viewers should prepare for quiet confrontations, subtle reveals, and hints of the explosive fallout to come later in the week. Lily's stalemate may foreshadow a decision that shocks both Devon and Billy. Nate's suspicions may uncover a truth that shifts the balance of power at Newman Enterprises. Nikki's solution may bring temporary peace, but also set the stage for future conflict. The pieces are moving, the pressure is building, and Monday, August 18th, will be another chapter in a saga that continues to captivate audiences with its mix of romance, betrayal, and power struggles. The Young and the Restless has always been about more than boardroom deals and family feuds. It is about the human emotions beneath the surface. Lily's longing for harmony, Nate's fear of betrayal, and Nikki's determination to protect her family are not just storylines, they are reflections of struggles viewers understand in their own lives. That relatability, combined with the glamour and intensity of Genoa City, makes every spoiler worth dissecting, every episode worth watching. Monday promises to deliver on all fronts, leaving fans eagerly awaiting the next twist.